Hi, Kapil. First of all, I feel like I'm at the presence of something so big, like I don't have a good enough question to ask. So thank you for everything, but I do have some sort of question, I guess. There seems to be a theme of control and losing it in my life. When I look at my day-to-day existence, like it's my eat and the way I eat, my sleep. It's like I try to grip some things for some time and I just push it forwards, and I realize like that part is prescription. But then whether if I do it or don't, when I'm not pushing something, then there is this need to let go of control. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like it's I eat that way. So the question could be, why do I binge eat? But also it's like I can loosely see it's the same with all areas of my life. Whether it be work or anything at all. I was just wondering why this happens. Like the control issues. Like why does that happen? Thank you.
So what in your life do you believe that you have control over?
I don't know. I have to think. Would that be helpful for me to think, or should I answer it now?
You can do either one.
Nothing, maybe.
No, the answer is not something. There's not a right or a wrong answer.
I don't feel in control, I guess.
So there's something which takes over when you're not in control.
Yeah.
And you're wanting to know why it is that you're not in control.
Yeah. I guess so. Yes.
And then that's why you were asked the question, what in your life do you feel that you have control over? And it is not a question that is trying to get you to respond in a certain way. Your mind has been bastardized by society such that when someone asks you a question, they're not really asking you a question. They're asking you a question in order to quote teach you a lesson or make you get something or make you respond in a certain way so that you can both clap and get a pat on the back that you got their answer right. That is not my world. Over here, when a question is asked to you, it is a sincere question and there is no right answer.
Yeah. Actually, I know, and the thing you said usually could happen, but it's just that I thought about the same question, like it's in my notes, and I couldn't find the proper answer. That's why I couldn't respond. Like I don't know. I have to ponder it a bit.
Okay, then you can ponder it and come back.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Kapil Gupta, just a quick question here. Like, I'm doing sales right now at the moment, and I had quite some success to it. But I mean, I still feel like, what else is there? I mean, like, I feel like I'm just lost, just doing the same thing every day, and like I feel like, although I have some quite success, like I still feel the same. Like, where do I look for something that's actually?
Well, what do you what? So when you say that you feel the same, it implies clearly that you're looking something, and obviously that something is not, by your own admission, something that you have found in quote sales. But what are you looking for?
I guess the word is called enlightenment, but like again, I don't really want to fall into that cliche of like Buddha and stuff like that.
Then don't. Forget the word enlightenment. Answer the way you want to answer.
Is there like a way to kind of glide through life and just live it in a way where it's
absolutely, there really is. But whenever someone begins with "Is there a way?" And I fully realize that the English language only has so, and therefore even I'm going to use the word "how" sometimes. But it's all about context, and it's all about the intention of what one is trying to ask. And is there a way? There absolutely is, but it's not. But it's not what you're looking for. Because once again, it has to be stated that people come into this domain asking things based upon the way that they have been asking and the answers that they have been receiving in the world. And the paradigm that they are used to and the concepts and notions that they are used to, they bring over here. So if they were to ask a so-called expert in the world, is there a way to get to X? They are used to hearing, yes, and the way is do 4 jumping jacks, 20 squats, and eat egg whites in them, and that's what they're used. That's the world in which they live, and that's the world which flows through their bloodstream. So, the answer to your question, the strict answer to your question is, uh, in spirit, the answer is absolutely yes. If you're looking for a 5-step plan, the answer is positively.
Got it. It makes sense. And I guess like just listening to that, it just kind of like iterating what the last girl said. Like, I do want some level of mastery on my life. I hate being just pushed around by, I guess, the environment and the.
Well, you know the thing is, everyone is pushed around, and the statement "everyone is pushed around" is not a way to say that that's just the way it has to be, but nor is it a statement which says, and you cannot be pushed around if you do X, Y, and Z. So it's neither of those two things. There absolutely is a way to not get pushed, but all of these things are side effects. The getting pushed around is a side effect, and the not getting pushed around is a side effect of that. So it is about learning the this is and the that. And that's what always comes down to truth. If one understands the truth about something, whatever it is that they're trying to understand, then they get to be in the driver's seat. If they don't know the truth, then all they have is prescription. Therefore, they will be a piñata for their entire life and be pushed around by every circumstance, every minute of their life. And that's how everyone lives.
One last question before.
It's the voice is very unclear and very.
Again, I don't feel in control of anything.
So then why do you feel that you should be in control? And you're not going to hear the question. This question has written all over it. It wants you to answer, and you're going to have to do everything in your power to not fall for the.
Can you repeat the question, please?
The question is, why do you that you should be in control of the things that you would like to be in control of, if nothing in your life is under your control?
Okay, thank you.
You fell for it. Still too distant and too faint. Go ahead.
So from the past few months, what I've experienced and observed is that in an industry, everybody is interested in putting out fires. That's all there is. That's all they think about. That's all they want. Pat on the back, gold medal, and so on. Nobody really asks what industry, like for me especially, I ask, what industry am I really in? Like the intellectual answer I can give myself is saying, okay, engineering. But there's something, I feel there's something beyond. There's something more I'm missing to properly understand what I'm doing. So I want to know the truth in it. Like I feel there's something untapped. It's just left on the table from understanding and, really getting into it. So I'm just trying to understand more about the truth in the industry and its scams.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a very general and vague question.
Okay. So in my experience, I'm an engineer. So everybody's only interested in saying, you should do this and should do that, like as it is. So what I want to know is what.
Well, that's not just in engineering. Yeah. That's in every single thing with every single human in the entire world.
Okay, that's true. Can I frame my question better and come back in a bit?
Yes.
Thank you.
What do you suggest for getting better at having patience?
You must be new here. Getting better has no. And why do you want to have patience? Do you think that you'll go to the drugstore and buy some? Do you think that you'll sit there and get a patient hammer and slam yourself in the head with it, and then by 4:25 p.m. you'll become patient? Do you think that if you do jumping jacks or drink salt water at precisely 3:45 in the afternoon, that you'll get patient?
I think things usually work out for me, but in between the time that they do and the present moment, I tend to get worked up and stressed, and it feels like that happens for no reason.
It's always going to happen because you are conditioned to look for how-tos. And a person who is conditioned to look for how-tos is a person who is destroyed. He has no possibility of truth. So there is nothing in the world that any idiot can tell you, and experts are idiots, that you do this and you'll become patient. You do this and you'll get into the moment. You do X, Y, and Z, and this will happen. Those things are fraudulent. They're false. They're lies. And that is what human beings have imbibed. That is the only diet that they have been on since the beginning of time. What can you do to be patient? The question is a non-starter. It is like asking, how do I make water dry. If there's anything that you can get out of this, it is to learn that all how-tos, all expert opinions, all beliefs, all methods, prescriptions, techniques, and hacks are garbage.
So is there an objective truth?
The fact that a question was asked, so this is the reality of the insincerity of human. This person who asked that question for his whole life has been subject. He was just explained that prescriptions are the road to hell. Now, as if that was imbibed within the 7.9 seconds it took to explain it to him, he had another question. He should have come back 76 years later after having explored how prescriptions have destroyed him before asking a question. But he blew that off and reflexively tore right in to another question, which is classic society.
Hello? Hi, Kapil. Can you hear me? Hi, guys.
Why are you so miserable? Who hurt you?
Why am I so miserable? Who hurt me? Interesting.
Namaste, Kapil. Thank you for your generosity in giving your time to these Twitter spaces. It's truly, truly valuable to me. Have a question. So I put on many faces and personas to function in this world. And every day and many times during the day, I'm either untruthful, manipulative, to have things go my way, embellish, exaggerate things, and so on. I know very well that these are all fake and lies. So my question is, does being truthful in one's daily speech and action important to finding truth? How much of an impediment is this behavior?
No, it's not. It's not, because you're treating it as a cost-benefit analysis. So if somebody was to ask me, should I seek the truth, I would say no. If somebody would ask me, should I tell the truth, I would say no. And me saying no does not mean that they should tell lies, and me saying no does not mean that they should not seek the truth. I'm simply responding to the question that's being asked. And so your question is, if I speak the truth, will that benefit me? Will that help me? And if it's a choice for you, it's no point in doing it, because then that's just one extra prescription that is added to your 700 million other prescriptions. And frankly, speaking the truth will just be as false as you purport to being already.
Hey, Kapil, hope you're doing well. Hope you can hear me also. I've consumed your material deeply this past year and find myself just a lot less excitable in general with life. In some ways, I feel like a different person, but also not really. I've never felt more calm, but I've had friends who seem worried for me and almost, I don't know if it's patronizing or genuine or if it matters. I can't tell if this new state of being is real or just another laid prescription. Not sure if it matters.
I don't know. What is your, I mean, you've provided a description. What do you really want to ask?
It just seems like, as I guess, kind of back into the truth, if you will, by listening to your material, I don't know if I'm like making progress or not. I guess I'm not even sure what I'm trying to ask, to be honest, but it just seems like another chase.
You know, there's a lot of see, what must be understood, and must, the word must means that obviously you're asking the question, therefore you want to know, therefore it's a must. I wouldn't tell must to anybody.
Sure.
There's no must about anything. So if you want to, you can. If you don't, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But what must be understood is that you have to have a 30,000 foot view of the wider your lens, the deeper your eyesight, the less you tend to be blindsided. So you live in a world, and then things don't seem as surprising, and in fact, you can practically predict. So you live in a world, not just you, everyone lives in a world where everyone is lying. And lying does not mean that one intentionally lies. It means that they live in a world in which the very air that comes out of people's mouth is prescriptive. It is all based upon hogwash and nepotism and incestual notions and concepts that have been regurgitatingly passed down for generations and for eons. So everyone lives in a world of lie. That's the world that they are used to, not because they choose it. That's just the way it is. They don't know any other world because no other world has been exposed to them. So it would be crazy for them not to be that way. It's no one's fault. So if someone has even a drop of truth, then they will stand out like red, or at least a shade of red, in a background of sand, so to speak. And therefore, that will cause a level of consternation, and that will cause confusion, and that will, now you become different, not only different to them, but different to who you are used to being, and different to who they are used to seeing you as. And the different that you have become, even in a little bit, is not the sort of different which is similar to somebody else, but it's a sort of different that is similar to nobody. Therefore, that's going to create confusion. That's going to create these questions, not only in the people who are around you, but also inside of your own being, because you are now living, at least in a little bit, in a different. Therefore, the sun isn't going to rise precisely in the same place for you. As a result, there's a form of upheaval. That's what you're experiencing.
Thank you, Kapil. Appreciate it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was deep and I was typing a bunch of notes. I really appreciate the work you do here.
Sure, thanks.
Hello, sir. When I listen to you and read, everything seems fine. But after some time, I forget everything. What is that I'm lacking?
Hi, Kapil. If I take the 30,000 feet view that, as you suggest, sometimes it feels very nihilistic. I wonder if, and it makes me wonder if that's the right state.
Okay, so you're an intellectual. What is these words your group of intellectual has invented? Nihilistic. What the hell does that mean? What does any kind of istic mean? Why the categorization of different things into different neat little pockets, and you could put, like you put pills and Monday through Sunday, and then arrange a goodness and a badness and a judgment around it. What do these stupid, idiotic, intellectual phrases mean? Don't bring irrelevance.
I asked this question once before, and I could hear you talk, but I couldn't quite make out what you were audible. The question then was, to briefly, the regretful that I've said to others, and the things that have said to me that I feel hurt over. Are those things not so much that they're choices or decisions, but are they instead simply an effect of the cause or causes leading up to that effect?
These are things which are always going. So to try to put them into some intellectual framework that you can understand won't really help you.
Hi, Kapil. Sandeep here. Actually, my question is two-part. I'm all happy with my life, but again, I think the problem is the peer social pressure. What I'm talking is like, I have a friend circle, a good friend circle, but I notice like as the friends move up in the tier, even though we are friends, their behavior change. And I feel like a disconnect. So how to deal with the peer pressure, how to stay happy in your life, even though the people...
Okay, number one,
Yes.
Friends don't make anybody happy.
Yeah.
So if you have a friends circle, which the vast majority of people do, there's going to be problems. So the possibility of you dropping the friend circle, not that you should, not that I recommend it, I don't care. But the fact that the possibility of you dropping the friends circle is basically zero, because the overwhelming majority of human beings enjoy socializing and talking nonsense with their friends. So in that friends circle, so and so do this, the other guy is going to say this, the third guy is going to, as you say, rise up in the ranks, and he's going to change. Your entire life is not going to be, it already is, a juggling act. And you're going to be juggling all of these issues. The friends circle is yet another million issues that you have willingly entered into, on top of the 50 million issues that you have in other parts of you. And that's never going to end.
Simple question. so you work with athletes sometimes, and I've seen you mention golf and hockey and swimming. Do you prefer working with athletes in certain sports more than others? And I guess, is there some sports you just don't want to accept, like football or basketball or anything?
What's the relevance of this question? Why are you asking?
It was just curiosity.
Curiosity doesn't work.
Upon arriving at my goal and destination, is it natural for a new goal or destination to come up? Or I'm asking.
So what do you really want to ask? Don't summarize it into with a neat little bow on top. Ask what you want to ask.
Was the initial goal or arrival, I guess this is just judgmental terms, but was it even big enough if you've arrived there and then a new goal or destination comes up?
I don't know. It depends upon what you want. And I mean, there's no rule there. If there's something else that you happen to be interested in, then you want to pursue something else, then so be it. I mean, that's nothing to read into.
The dream as a dream, you've done all you need to do. Is that and to stop looking for a way out? Is that pretty much it?
So all that's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense because, just make up a bunch of words, throw them in a soup, put them together, and then say, is that the way it is? It's just conceptualizing crap. What are you going to do with that? So what if someone told you, yes, that's all there is? What are you going to do? When you get off this call, what are you going to do? How is your life going to change? Well, now that you know that someone told you that's it, great. You can put on your shirt. You can get a patch which says that's it on your upper left chest. Okay, you're going to walk around saying that's it. The dream of the dream, whatever the hell you said, that's what it is. Okay, so what? What are you going to do now?
Thanks for your time, Kapil. I'm trying to reconcile something. Would you consider, or should I consider, self-help books in the same category as a book that teaches math or investments or something like that?
I mean, it depends. If you have gotten something substantial out of math and investment, then you can read self-help books and see if they give you something substantial. I've written extensively about self-help. It doesn't really matter because I'm not suggesting that you read what I write or have any affinity towards it. But if the question you're asking is, should you read self-help books? I have no recommendation one way or the other.
Well, I meant in terms of prescriptions and so forth. Would a book about math follow a prescription, or would you consider them to be different?
Do you think that you'll find self-help books that don't prescribe?
No, I don't like self-help books, but I do think a book like, even for my son, if it teaches him math or teaches me investments, if I didn't know anything before, an introduction book would set you on your path.
It depends what your path that you're looking for is.
Fair enough.
Depends what you mean by path. There's no right or wrong. It depends what path you're looking for.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Anyone here?
I only caught the last half of your sentence.
I'm asking if anyone is here. Hello, my name is Nana.
Hello, Siddha. How to find one's calling in life?
Hi, Kapil. Thank you so much for your time. How can we become living God and goddesses?
Hi, Kapil. Good evening. So there's one truth that I think I found, something that as a child I was dealing with. So basically my dad, he would have a stuttering problem and he wouldn't speak properly. So then growing up, I guess I kind of had one too a little bit. And then, just recently I saw one of your interviews with Mo, and it said that a part of you, if you entertain it, and then another part of you isn't sure, that's internal conflict, and that manifests itself as anger. That was one of the examples you had. And then I guess my question is, when it comes to, speaking, sometimes a part of me, this was growing up, wasn't sure if I could say the word. And then another part of me, and then that would be the internal conflict right there. And that was something that I dealt with a lot growing up. And then that was the truth that I found out recently. Any recommendations or any insight on that?
Nope.
And to become ready, because one does not realize that everything is false. If I'm not desperate all the time, does that mean that I don't realize that everything is false, or am I missing a truth as to why I'm not ready? In terms like the mind,
It wouldn't matter It wouldn't matter what the reason. It would just matter if someone is or isn't, because even if they knew the reason, there's nothing they can do about it.
Hello, Kapil. Thank you so much for having me here. I've started realizing a lot of things that you've been saying, and a part of me is listening to a sense of urgency. A lot of what you have been saying has transformed my life in many ways. It has not necessarily changed anything, but I've started listening to a sense of urgency which has taken me to different places. I don't know if this is necessarily the truth, but I would just want to say this. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a lot of questions that would sound a lot prettier or make me sound smarter. But the fact is, I only have one problem. And it seems that obviously nothing works. I'm hyper aware of my mortality, and I even set an end date so that there's no ambiguity of when that is. It can't be pushed off. But it seems that nothing, including that, allows me to be constant.
So just so we're clear, I'm not here for. I don't want to be a part of any type of suicide plan.
I understand.
That's what you're saying.
No, not at all.
So I'm not.
No.
Okay.
My question is, there is nothing that will allow me to leave the cycle of constant pleasure chasing. So I can't sustain focus on anything because I'm trapped in that cycle, and nothing allows me to leave it. And yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then I don't see a difference between an end date sooner rather than later, other than there's a family that I care about.
The bottom line is that everything has a truth. There's a way to everything in one's life. If one believes that they don't want to pursue something that they really want, then so be it. But everything has a truth. It's just that everyone has become so brainwashed by prescriptions that that's the only tool that they can go to, and it's a useless tool at that. So, but the idea that it can't be done, that's personal if one feels that. But is that true? Absolutely.
Hey, Kapil. I have a question in terms of why should someone seek for truth? If for me, if I am quite happy with the normal society.
But wait a minute, did I ever recommend that you?
No, of course not. Yeah, but because I heard.
So then why are you asking why should someone? You would only ask that question to someone who said that you should. You would not ask the question why should someone do something unless that person had first said that you should.
Yeah, got you. Because I kind of go between two sides. Like I at one side I understand the urge of looking for truth. On the other side, which pulls me always is there is society, there is other pleasures, and which also I am enjoying. So there is this is a duality in which I am right now going through, and that's the reason I just asking.
Yeah, everyone's lost in that sense, and it's just up to an individual. Something inside them wants to pursue truth or not.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is the act of becoming pure sort of like cleaning your house? Is there like
your voice is breaking up?
Is the act of becoming pure sort of like cleaning your house? At the start, is there one big mess to clean up? And then for the rest of your life, is there lots of there's some cleaning to do because you've already done a big clean, and then you clean a little bit, and there's a feeling of ease? Or have I misunderstood?
Well, why do you want to be pure?
It seems like the most pleasant thing to do.
Then you'll never get there.
Okay.
Because it isn't about pleasantry.
Hello, Kapil. It's Shay. I hope you're doing well. I am calling. I'm sorry. I just finished driving. I just want to say that I'm very happy that I can hear your voice. I miss talking to you. The thing is, I don't have a question, but I just want to tell you a little bit about what's happening to me. I have, you know how difficult my life was throughout my infancy and childhood and up to adulthood. I always think about, when you talk about in your private discourses or podcasts that you have artists that work with you and go through your questioning, and they found out that they found their issues and the truth about their issues, and then they come back and tell you that they never felt free like they feel at that time after going through your process, like they never been like that since they were like 14 years old or 9 years old or 10. They remember the good times of their past. And I don't have that, as you know. I never had, I don't remember the last time I had a good time. And so what I'm going through, and thanks to you again, it's something I never felt before. So for me, it's totally new life. I live it every day as full as I can. I never had this experience before. So for me, I don't know, and I don't want to know if there is better days or not better days, or what's the truth about why I'm here. I am at the point that I have no reference point, if I may. And I owe this to you. Every day I do so many, not about doing things, but I am so free at whatever I choose to do every morning. I have no plans. Sometimes it's painting. Sometimes it's more physical, like tennis or martial art or whatever. And I am so much different than before. And I am over 50 years old, and I just start feeling this. And I don't know. I just want to share this with you. I know your time is precious. I know you have clients and a family and everything. I just want to say that I truly miss conversing with you and talking to you. And I am so grateful that you opened your time and your whatever, schedule to, let's say, the masses, us, for us to be able to hear you. I wish that people get to know you truly, to know you by privately. I wish nothing for you but the best. You helped me through my professional life as a doctor, to my personal life, which was inexistent. And let me tell you one more last thing that I may not have shared with you before, is that I never was very talkative. I always was like, people were telling me, Shay, why don't you say something? Why don't you ask what you want? What you like for ice cream, what flavor, what drink or whatever. I just never cared about. And now I feel like I was pushing myself. Even for that, I was like not happy. I had to be like more talkative or do more like somebody else. But now it's like, whatever, I have nobody in my life. I have no family, no friend. No, it's just me and whatever the hell I want to do with my day. And I never felt like this before. I appreciate you. I truly appreciate everything about you. I wish nothing but the best.
Thank you. Thank you.